The night was calm when the first transmission arrived. Jay Park sat in the dimly lit observation room, his fingers tracing the edge of a worn communication panel. Outside the reinforced windows, Earth's orbital defense platforms hung like silent guardians against the starry backdrop. Aria, the artificial intelligence system, projected a holographic map showing the distant Proxima Centauri colony. Something felt wrong. The colony's communication patterns had changed subtly over the past 72 hours. "Display incoming transmission," Jay commanded. The hologram flickered. Static danced across the screen before revealing a distorted image of alien architecture. No words, just a series of geometric patterns that seemed to pulse with an unsettling rhythm. Yoon Kim, the lead strategic analyst, entered the room. Her quick footsteps echoed against the metallic floor. "We're receiving strange signals from the outer colonies," she said, her voice steady but tense. Suddenly, the hologram erupted with violent imagery. Explosions. Destruction. The Proxima Centauri colony was under attack. Thousands of unidentified spacecraft descended like a metallic storm, cutting through human settlements with surgical precision. Jay's hand moved instinctively to the communication console. "Status report," he demanded. Aria's calm voice responded. "Colony communication networks are collapsing. Estimated civilian casualties approaching 12,000. The room grew cold. Humanity had spent centuries avoiding conflict, building diplomatic bridges with alien civilizations. They had always chosen peace, always believed in negotiation, always assumed mutual understanding was possible. Not anymore. Initial reports showed no warning. No diplomatic communication, no traditional declaration of war, just pure, calculated destruction. Yoon's fingers danced across multiple screens, gathering data. The attack pattern suggests total elimination. They're not conquering. They're erasing our presence. Jay watched live feed from the colony. Small human settlements burned. Automated defense systems proved ineffective against the alien technology. Children's playgrounds became battlegrounds. Research centers transformed into smoking ruins. "Send a diplomatic communication," Jay ordered, his voice calm despite the chaos. Aria's response was immediate. "Communication channels are non-responsive. Complete communication blackout from alien forces. 12,000 lives. Vanished in moments. The first human colony outside the solar system, gone." Yoon looked at Jay, her eyes reflecting a mixture of shock and emerging determination. "They don't want dialogue," she said quietly. "They want elimination." Jay's hand clenched. Decades of peaceful exploration, centuries of diplomatic training, generations of avoiding conflict, all shattered in a single moment. Aria continued displaying real-time data, casualty counts, destruction metrics, strategic analysis. Each number represented a life. Each statistic a human story cut short. "Prepare communication for Earth's Defense Council," Jay said, his voice low and controlled. "We need a full strategic assessment." The room hummed with tension. Outside, Earth continued its routine rotation, unaware that everything was about to change. Humanity had always been peaceful by choice. But choices could be unmade. Perspectives could shift. And when pushed beyond diplomatic limits, even the most peaceful civilization could transform. The first transmission was just the beginning. War had found humanity, and humanity would respond. 2 weeks after the Proxima Centauri attack, Earth looked different. Underground research facilities that had been dormant for decades now hummed with intense activity. Laboratories that once studied peaceful technologies now redesigned weapons of unimaginable complexity. Yoon Kim stood in a secured research chamber, her hands carefully examining a prototype quantum disruption weapon. The device looked like a simple metallic cylinder, but its internal mechanics represented centuries of suppressed human technological potential. "We've been holding back," she muttered to herself. Aria's holographic representation flickered nearby. "Weapon system calibration at 87.3% completion," the AI reported. Its voice carried no emotion, but something in its tone suggested anticipation. J. Park reviewed global defense reports. Every major human settlement was converting civilian infrastructure into potential military resources. Universities canceled. Academic programs. Research centers redirected funding. Manufacturing plants retooled production lines. The transformation happened with surprising speed and unity. Scientists who had spent decades studying peaceful energy solutions now designed advanced propulsion systems. Computer engineers developed AI combat protocols. Medical researchers created nano-regenerative technologies that could heal battlefield injuries within seconds. Global communication networks that once shared cultural exchanges now transmitted tactical information. Satellite systems repositioned. Defense platforms activated hidden weapon systems. Humanity was not preparing for a war. They were preparing for total technological revolution. An old storage facility in South Korea became the primary research center. Here, recovered alien technology fragments were carefully examined. Each piece offered insights into potential defensive and offensive capabilities. "We were never weak," Jay told a group of senior researchers. "We were simply waiting. Choosing peace does not mean inability to fight." The first test of the new quantum disruption weapon happened in a controlled environment. The target, a decommissioned space station, disappeared in less than 3 milliseconds. No explosion, no debris, just complete molecular disintegration. Military commanders who had spent years in diplomatic training now studied advanced combat strategies. They analyzed alien attack patterns, identifying weaknesses with clinical precision. ARIA processed millions of tactical scenarios every second. The AI was learning, adapting, creating strategies that human minds could not comprehend. Weapon designs emerged that defied current technological understanding. Stealth systems that could render entire spacecraft invisible. Adaptive nano-armor that could reconstruct itself after massive damage. Energy weapons that could neutralize entire planetary defense systems. Yoon discovered something unexpected during her research. The alien technology they had recovered suggested a civilization that believed in total warfare. No room for negotiation. No space for compromise. "They didn't just want to defeat us," she explained to Jay. "They wanted to erase our existence." Recruitment centers saw unprecedented activity. Young men and women who had trained in peaceful professions now signed up for advanced military training. Technology experts, medical professionals, engineers. Everyone understood the stakes. The global response was unified in a way humanity had never experienced before. No political divisions. No regional conflicts. Just a single focused objective. Survival. Jay watched the transformation with a mix of pride and sadness. Humanity had always been capable of this level of unity and technological innovation. They had simply chosen not to demonstrate it. Until now, the alien civilization that attacked Proxima Centauri had made a critical mistake. They had awakened something far more dangerous than a simple military force. They had awakened humanity's true potential, and the universe was about to learn a painful lesson. The sleeping giant was not just awake. It was ready to fight. The first counterattack came without warning. Alien communication systems suddenly went silent as human stealth vessels emerged from quantum tunnels, their weapon systems blazing with unprecedented technological precision. Coral Vex, the alien supreme commander, watched in disbelief as entire battle groups disappeared in milliseconds. The human ships moved like liquid mercury, impossible to track, impossible to predict. 742 alien vessels destroyed in less than 3 hours. 12 human ships lost. The mathematical impossibility of the battle shocked the entire Galactic Council. Recordings showed human technology that seemed to defy known physical laws. Weapons that could disintegrate entire battleships without leaving a trace. Navigation systems that predicted enemy movements before they happened. ARIA had transformed warfare into a mathematical equation. Each potential attack route calculated. Each defensive strategy analyzed and countered before it could be implemented. J. Park watched the battle unfold from Earth's primary command center. His fingers never touched a control panel. The entire operation ran with surgical precision, guided by AI systems that understood conflict at a level no biological intelligence could comprehend. Yoon Kim analyzed the battle data in real time. "They never saw us coming," she whispered, her voice a mix of professional detachment and something darker. Excitement, vengeance. The psychological impact was immediate. Alien communication networks collapsed. Panic spread through their military, ranks faster than any weapon could travel. They had believed humans were weak, peaceful, unable to fight. They were wrong. Each human vessel carried technologies that seemed to break fundamental laws of physics. Quantum disruption cannons that could neutralize entire energy systems. Adaptive nano-armor that could reconstruct itself faster than enemy weapons could cause damage. AI combat protocols that learned and adapted with each microsecond of conflict. 3. Alien Supreme Command structure began to fragment. Communication became desperate. Tactical retreats turned into complete disorganization. Humanity had not just fought back. They had demonstrated a level of technological superiority that was almost terrifying. "We are not the civilization you thought we were," became the unspoken message of each human attack. Jay understood something profound was happening. This was more than a military response. This was a statement, a declaration that humanity would no longer be viewed as a passive species. Area continuously processed battle data. Each engagement became a learning opportunity. Each enemy strategy was analyzed, understood, and subsequently neutralized. The galactic observers watched in shock. Species that had long considered humans as peaceful diplomats now saw something entirely different, a civilization that had been holding back, waiting, preparing. Coral Vex's flagship became a symbol of this transformation. Once a proud representation of alien military might, it now drifted powerless, its systems completely neutralized by technologies it could not comprehend. How? Became the universal question among alien military strategists. The answer was simple. Humanity had chosen peace, but they had never forgotten how to fight. Each destroyed alien vessel sent a clear message. Peaceful does not mean weak. Diplomatic does not mean defenseless. The turning point was not just a military victory. It was a fundamental shift in how the universe would view human civilization. They were no longer the species to be ignored. They were the species to be feared. The sleeping giant had not just awakened, it had declared war. The war entered a new phase of calculated destruction. J. Park's strategy was brutally simple: total systemic elimination. Alien colonies began disappearing from star charts, not through violent explosions, but through complete molecular disassembly. Area's advanced systems developed warfare techniques that went beyond traditional combat. Yoon Kim discovered something horrifying during her research. The alien civilization was not just a military threat, it was a complex network of interconnected systems. Remove one element, and the entire structure would collapse. Humanity targeted everything. Communication networks vanished first. Quantum disruption waves erased entire planetary communication infrastructures. Alien military leaders suddenly found themselves isolated, unable to coordinate or communicate. Industrial centers disappeared overnight. Massive manufacturing complexes became quantum dust within seconds. No explosions, no debris, just complete elimination. Area calculated each move with mathematical precision. Every attack had multiple objectives. Every strategic point served a specific purpose in the larger elimination protocol. Alien agricultural worlds went dark. Food production systems collapsed. Entire planetary ecosystems were systematically neutralized. No resources, no survival. The psychological warfare was even more devastating. Human transmission systems began broadcasting strategic information designed to break alien morale. Detailed records of their own destruction. Precise calculations showing the inevitability of their defeat. Coral Vex watched his civilization crumble. Communication systems showed him fragments of destruction. Entire planetary systems going silent. Military installations vanishing. Critical. infrastructure dissolving. Jay understood something fundamental about warfare. It was not about killing. It was about systematic removal. Human technology had reached a point where destruction could be surgical, precise, almost clinical. Alien defensive systems proved useless. Each technological countermeasure was anticipated and neutralized before implementation. Area's predictive algorithms were generations ahead of anything the alien civilization could comprehend. Military bases disappeared without warning. Strategic planetary positions became quantum voids. The aliens discovered they were fighting an enemy that could attack without being detected, eliminate without leaving traces. Psychological profiles suggested the alien civilization would attempt surrender. But humanity had moved beyond traditional conflict resolution. Total elimination became the only acceptable outcome. Yoon developed psychological warfare protocols that targeted the fundamental communication structures of the alien civilization. Not just military communication, cultural communication, social communication, every possible interaction channel. The aliens discovered they were facing a civilization that had spent centuries studying peaceful coexistence and had simultaneously developed technologies that could dismantle entire civilizations with mathematical precision. Each human vessel carried technologies that seemed to defy physical understanding. Weapons that could neutralize entire planetary defense systems, navigation systems that could predict enemy movements before they happened. Alien military leaders began experiencing complete system failures. Communication networks collapsed. Defense protocols became meaningless. Strategic planning turned into pure chaos. Area processed millions of tactical scenarios every second. The AI understood warfare as a complex mathematical equation. Each potential attack route calculated. Each defensive strategy analyzed and neutralized before implementation. Jay watched the systematic destruction with a calm, professional demeanor. No anger, no emotional response, just pure, calculated elimination. The alien civilization discovered the true meaning of total warfare. Humanity was not just fighting. They were surgically removing a threat. With mathematical precision, without emotion, without mercy. The universe watched in silent horror as an entire civilization was systematically erased from existence. Peaceful no more. Completely unstoppable. The final battle lasted 72 hours. When silence descended, nothing remained except scattered quantum debris and fading energy signatures. Jay Park stood on the flagship's bridge, watching the last molecular disruptions fade into cosmic darkness. His reflection appeared ghost-like against the observation window, a man who had transformed from a diplomatic strategist to the architect of total civilizational elimination. Area displayed final statistical reports. 0 human casualties. Complete. Alien civilization destruction. Efficiency rating 99.9%. We were peaceful by choice, Jay whispered. Now we chose annihilation. Yoon Kim entered the bridge, her uniform crisp, her eyes reflecting a complex mixture of professional detachment and deep emotional understanding. She understood what humanity had become. Not conquerors, not heroes. Something else entirely. The Galactic Council watched the transmission records in stunned silence. How could a civilization known for diplomatic solutions execute such precise, total destruction? Recovered alien communication records revealed their fundamental mistake. They had believed humans were weak, passive, unable to defend themselves. They were wrong. Arya began processing the deeper implications. This was not just a war. This was a fundamental reset of galactic power dynamics. Alien research archives, the few that survived, showed humanity had been observed for centuries, always peaceful, always diplomatic, always seemingly vulnerable. No one had seen the technological potential brewing beneath that peaceful exterior. Jay reviewed the final strategic reports. Each decision, each molecular disruption, each systematic elimination had been calculated with surgical precision. The human vessels moved like quantum ghosts. Invisible, unpredictable, devastating. Coral Vex, the alien Supreme Commander, was never found. His final transmission suggested complete incomprehension. How could a peaceful civilization transform so completely? Military historians would later call this the quantum transformation, the moment humanity revealed its true technological potential. Yoon discovered something profound in the recovered alien databases. They had specific psychological profiles documenting human behavior, diplomatic tendencies, peaceful resolution strategies. None of those profiles predicted total annihilation. The last alien colony disappeared from star charts at exactly 0347 Universal Time. No explosion, no debris, just complete molecular dissolution. Area calculated the total conflict duration: 6 months, 14 days, 7 hours, 23 minutes, an entire civilization. Erased, systematically, mathematically, without emotional engagement. J understood the philosophical weight of their actions. Humanity had not just fought a war. They had made a collective decision about their place in the universe. No more passive resistance, no more diplomatic compromises, total protection through total elimination. The bridge remained silent. No celebrations, no emotional displays, just professional acknowledgement of a mission completed. Yoon looked at Jay. "What now?" she asked. Jay's response was calculated. "We wait. We prepare. We ensure nothing like this can ever threaten us again." Arya projected potential future conflict scenarios. Millions of calculations ran simultaneously. Predictive models, potential threats, strategic preparations. The universe had learned a painful lesson. Humanity was not just a peaceful civilization. They were a sleeping technological giant, and they had finally awakened, completely, utterly, terrifyingly. The end of one conflict marked the beginning of something else.